Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be looking at The Walking Dead, season 10, episode 2. Now, if you guys saw my last uh, Walking Dead reaction, you guys know that I've kind of come in. I binge watched the first 5 seasons, and then season 6 was kind of like off and on. But I'm well aware of everything that has happened so far. The show, every big thing, every character death, every big thing. But I am going to start to do my reactions. Uh, Season 10 is going to be completely new to me because I don't know what happens. I do know a little bit what happens at the end of the part 1 of season 10 because, it's kind of hard to avoid spoilers when you're online. But for going on, I think The Walking Dead is going to be around till season 12, I believe, and I want to do that with a clean slate and kind of give you guys a fresh reaction. As far as the earlier episodes, I might do full reactions to season 6 on later on. I have seen a lot of season 6, so a lot of everything that I do prior to season 6 will be just reviews because I'm very familiar with those episodes. But the ones that I'm not really as familiar with, I'm trying to stay away from online. There, the part that is kind of fresh to me really is the second part to season 6. Even though I saw the last episode of season 6 and I know about the big cliffhanger and everything, but I don't those episodes in part 2 I have never seen, you know, in order and all that. So I might do that later on. But right now, let's get started watching the second episode of season 10 for The Walking Dead. I heard that this episode is going to dive into the Whisperers backstory, so I might get some clarity. I do know an actress that is, stay away from online if you don't want to be spoiled. But they're bringing on an actress that's very familiar with a couple movies. I think she comes in this episode. I know she comes in as a whisper. Her name's Thora Bush. She was in American Beauty and some other movies. But I think she's coming into the show, and I think this might be the episode where she comes. But other than that, I don't know anything about her character. So let's just get started watching episode 2 of Walking Dead, season 10. 7 years ago, there's the backstory. Well, what happened to her? Ew, ew, ew. And I bet that if that's Alpha, that's probably her. I think that's her daughter Lydia, I believe. Not too familiar with all the new characters, so it's going to take some time getting used to. In the beginning, it looks like they weren't wearing masks. What'd she do? Don't blame her. Well, it brings them down. If you chop their heads off, they're just going to get more pissed. Yep, Thor Birch. Exactly what I was saying.
Can you talk?
Not if he has a ski mask on. So in the beginning, it was just those two. They'd find another way to survive. That wouldn't be my plan of action. I'd be more like Rick's group. I wouldn't wear it like 24/7. They do.
I like it.
Well, they haven't crafted to taking their heads off yet. Yeah, like a regular walker can just walk back and forth like that. Well, they got to get the mask. Well, they get their mask from somewhere. Kill them and they take their flesh. Oof.
You will pay.
For what? What'd she do? Give him away? At least take that damn mask off. Something made Lydia go over to Rick's group.
I want to be more like you, Mama.
treats her like she's younger than she is. Who's in the mask? It's not Thor. She's looked like her, but it's not. And who is that? Oh, what's she gonna do? Kill her? That's Thor right there. And who's the one? I mean, that time, I still wouldn't be wearing the mask. I mean, take it off. It's not normal. I mean, yeah, maybe when there's walkers around, but wearing those masks?
Why?
Do not question me.
Kind of hard to see where Rick and company are 7 years ago. We're never going to see Betta's face, are we? His real face. You.
People who knew me before all this would probably say the same thing.
What were you before?
I trusted those people anyway. I don't hardly trust anyone.
Dive right in.
You gotta become them. Feel what they feel.
What do they feel?
Nothing. Only two kinds of people left in this world. One's brave enough to walk with the dead, and everybody else. So tell me, baby.
Everybody else, because they're the ones that are really surviving. Not gonna see his face. They already got conflict with each other, and they just met.
Ever.
You know, they're gonna kill her. They're gonna kill her by the end of this episode. Not Thor's, but the other.
Did you mean what you said?
They're just walking around in the field, wearing Dead Walker's mask.
Bring him.
You brought a baby out here.
Oh yeah, that's Lydia. Oh, now you're toast. Oh. Crap. Yep, she tried to kill off her. Even without that mask on, jeez. A lot of makeup.
Some of us are wailing, Cub. I see greatness in you.
I mean, you don't need to have that mask on all the time. You could have told her that without the mask on.
Monsters.
Yeah, if you wear that mask, you'll be monsters. You keep killing humans, you'll be monsters.
Feel bravery and sacrifice.
Like I said, you're monsters because you wear the mask now. How do you think people feel about Leatherface? People would be afraid of Leatherface if he didn't have a mask on. But I would run far away from her as I could, but she's not going to at that point.
You want her back.
You shouldn't have come here.
Why?
Of course she wants her back. It's her daughter.
Why did you lie to me?
Something happened to her. Did something happen to her as a kid and then she substituted her for somebody else?
Because she was not like me.
Yes, normal.
But don't you dare ever leave me again, you hear me?
Well, she will when she gets older. She sees how crazy you are. And that has to be something a mentally person would form, is wearing. You know, if someone's mentally, they don't have medicine anymore, they just, hey, I'm just going to wear a dead person's face, because that's normal. He's never going to reveal his face. Or at least to us, they won't ever reveal. I'm not going to show his face. Not to us. It's a surprise. The face, that's when you start taking the face. That's disgusting. That's when you become better. And that's when you start slowly forming the Whispers.
And they've crossed.
What, Carol?
Must teach them a lesson.
They didn't cross.
We walk in darkness. We are free. We bathe in blood. We are free.
Nothing.
I wouldn't feel free if I had
Free.
to wear a mask like that 24/7. I'd feel better if I was just trying to survive on my own, you know. And then you're gonna go out there and you're gonna see Carol.
We are the end of the world.
Okay, so that was the second episode of season 10. We got to look a little bit more into the Whispers backstory. Personally, I believe that the only the people that kind of choose to wear like a dead person's mask over your face will be somebody that's like mentally ill. If you go back to like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, people are afraid of Leatherface because he wears a mask. They wouldn't be afraid of him if he had that mask on. But that's what makes him terrifying, and that's kind of what makes the Whispers terrifying. If you take the mask away from all of them, they're not as terrifying. So as a way of surviving, that is their way. You know, early on in the episode, you heard Alpha say there's two kinds of people. There's them, the ones with the mask, and everyone else. And personally, I would, if I was in that kind of world, I would be I would be in the everybody else group. I wouldn't be somebody that wears a dead person's face and causing chaos and beheading 9 people and all that kind of thing. It's just not normal. So if I was in that kind of world, I would be towards Rick's and Daryl and that kind of group. But other than that, it's a good episode to see their arc. And the next episode we'll probably get a continuation between both of them. Apparently they think that they cross lines, so we'll see what happens. You know, it is going to take me a little while to get used to all these new characters because they are a little bit fresh to me. But it's enough for me to kind of understand the story and what's going on in season 10. Like I said, I do know all the major things that have already happened. So anyway, other than that, stay tuned, and I'll be going over episode 3 pretty soon. Stay tuned for that. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, make sure you go to my Patreon. Go to All Access Pass, and I'll give you every full length reaction that I've done this season. Other than that, on YouTube, it will be trimmed down for about 10 minutes or so. If you guys like this reaction, make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. It will ensure that in the future I make more reactions based on this show and shows similar to it. Make sure you hit the little bell icon. And other than that, I'll see you guys in future reactions and reviews.